A housing bubble is a rapid increase in housing prices caused by demand speculation and reckless spending that eventually leads to a crash. Housing bubbles typically begin with an increase in demand due to limited supply, which takes a relatively long time to replenish and increase. Housing bubbles are an enigmatic phenomenon. As a market gains traction and prices rise, it's difficult to tell whether the market is overvalued and flooded with speculation, or if it's simply experiencing high demand. When prices decouple from local incomes and rents, this is a common red flag. In addition, imbalances in the real economy, such as excessive construction activity and lending, can indicate the emergence of a bubble. Let's have a look at those global cities that show the highest real estate bubble risk. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Number 6. Tokyo. For nearly 2 decades, housing prices in Tokyo have risen almost continuously, aided by favorable financing conditions and population growth. As affordability has deteriorated, imbalances have reached the bubble risk threshold. Rising resource costs, a worsening labor shortage, and a flood of cheap money are driving Tokyo property prices to near historic highs. However, signs of weakness have recently emerged. Year-over-year price growth has been cut in half to 5%, trailing the national average for the first time in a decade. Unlike residents of other major cities, such as New York, who fled to the suburbs during the coronavirus pandemic, Tokyo residents appeared to be more interested in relocating to new developments in central locations to reduce commuting times. Number 5. Vancouver. The Vancouver housing market is experiencing extremely high bubble risk. A new global real estate report claims that Vancouver does not have the world's largest housing bubble. Vancouver does not even have the largest housing bubble in Canada. This honor goes to Toronto, which has the world's largest housing bubble. However, Vancouver sees a high level of bubble risk. According to UBS Insights, which is based in Switzerland, Vancouver has the world's 6th largest housing bubble. When comparing Vancouver's bubble risk to 2021, the global real estate bubble index remained relatively flat. Vancouver was 6th last year as well, with a bubble risk of 1.66, which has increased slightly this year. While cities such as Toronto and Frankfurt have topped the list this year, UBS believes Vancouver is at risk. Number 4. Hong Kong. According to a new report on real estate prices in major global cities, Hong Kong has the world's most overvalued property market and faces the greatest risk of a housing bubble. The traditional explanation for Hong Kong's high housing prices is that land is scarce, making it intrinsically expensive, particularly in high-demand areas. According to this viewpoint, demand has far outstripped the natural scarcity of land supply, necessitating an increase in housing prices. However, rising mortgage costs in Hong Kong as a result of rising interest rates are beginning to deflate the bubble. Number 3. Zurich. With reports of housing shortages and sky-high apartment prices in Zurich, it's perhaps unsurprising to learn that the Swiss housing market may be in a bubble. This is confirmed by UBS's new Global Real Estate Bubble Index, which found Zurich to have the world's 3rd most overpriced housing. According to the Swiss bank's 2022 report, there is an acute shortage of housing around the world, which has fueled a significant rise in house prices. According to the study, the average skilled worker can now afford roughly 1/3 less housing space than before the pandemic. The bank explained that Zurich's sky-high prices are the result of a strong economy and the Swiss National Bank's previously negative interest rates. Swiss National Bank planned interest rate hikes will make purchasing a home even more unaffordable as rates for Swiss mortgages rise, causing house prices to fall in the future. They did note, however, that Zurich's strong appeal as a city, being home to expat-friendly jobs, international companies, and a high standard of living, may mean that prices remain much higher for a longer time. Number 2. Frankfurt. According to UBS's latest Real Estate Bubble Index, the Frankfurt housing markets remain significantly overheated. However, rising inflation and economic uncertainty may indicate that the bubble is about to burst, causing house prices to plummet. The Swiss bank is the latest in a long line of financial experts to warn that rising interest rates and the rising cost of mortgages could spell the end of years of boom in the German real estate market. And the markets that have risen the most have fallen the most. The 2022 index discovered that house prices in Frankfurt exhibit pronounced bubble characteristics, implying that housing here is significantly overpriced. This year, Toronto surpassed Frankfurt, which ranked first last year, as the city with the highest risk of bubbles in the world. Number 1. Toronto. According to a new report from Swiss bank UBS, Toronto has the highest risk of a housing bubble in the world, even higher than cities like Frankfurt and Hong Kong. The annual UBS report assigned housing markets in 25 cities an index score. With a score greater than 1.5 indicates that a city was likely experiencing a housing bubble. Toronto received a 2.24 rating. Urban housing shortages to accommodate a growing population and falling mortgage rates were viewed as the two main causes of Toronto's long-term property boom, which also indicated high investment demand. According to the study, home prices in Toronto have risen 17% year-on-year. The Bank of Canada's recent rate hikes may have been the straw that broke the camel's back, putting additional financial burdens on new buyers who are already struggling with housing affordability. They must not only pay higher interest rates, but also provide more income to qualify for a mortgage. So guys, that was it for this video. What did you think about our video? Let us know in the comment section below. If you are new to our channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell to get notified about our latest videos. Thanks for watching.